What's up, Gear Nerds? It's your buddy Dustin from Blue Collar Gear Review. Short, simple, straightforward video today, hopefully. I'm going to do a quick shootout, sort of, between a couple of wireless units that I have. A buddy of mine has loaned me the Line 6 G30. I had it for a little while until I got my Line 6 G50, which is on the board back here. We'll do some up-close shots of them and just do a kind of a quick look at some of the features of both units and if one may be the right one for you. Always try to bring you guys advice on kind of budget-friendly gear for us working musicians who are trying our best to, to play a little music without going broke doing it, which is, oxymoron, right? Anyway, we're going to dive in real quick and take a close look at the G30 and the G50, again, which is on my active pedal board. We're going to look at the body pack. We're going to look at the housing for the actual pedal itself, or the pedal itself. And we're going to do some sound samples. Hard to tell in the video, but I'm in a decent-sized room. Most stages will not be any bigger than this room for many of us. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of do a tone comparison. I'll move around the room away from the pedal board, away from the actual unit with the wireless packs themselves, and see if there's any sound difference, any tone loss, any noticeable kind of quirks, and let you make a decision from there. Is the Line 6 G30 a good option? The G50 a good option? There are other units as well, but these are two I happen to have, and if you're looking at them, they've been pretty popular over the last few years. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a closer look. All right, guys, real quick, we're just going to take a quick look at the actual housing units themselves. By comparison, you'll notice right off the bat that the G50 is a bit larger than the G30. Neither one of them will take up that much more space on your board or however you're, wherever you're putting this, if you're sitting on top of an amp. It's about the size, both of them are about the size of a stomp box if you're using pedals. A couple things offhand too is that the G50 has 12 channels of just different selections, options. So if you and your bass player, your other guitar player are kind of running into interference, the G50 has 12 different channels, whereas the G30 has 6. And the both units feature this cable tone emulation. Both settings, I don't use it because I think it kind of sounds funky. Just kind of personal opinion there. But the G50 offers 33 feet of cable tone, and the G30 offers 30 feet of cable tone. You might notice right offhand that this has got some red tape around it. This one does not. The housing of the G50 is a metal casing, and it features your normal, your standard little 3-pin, 3-prong, hell, that's loose, your little 3-prong kind of adapter cable. Whereas the G30, you can use your regular old 1/4-inch guitar cables to connect your pack to your guitar. One of the things over time that I've read about online and experienced myself, and again, this is this one's a loaner until I got my actual unit in. But the battery doors, they get weak and they start to protrude and they start to kind of get loose. So my buddy Ben has engineered some red tape to hold that in place. Whereas I don't think the metal housing of the G50 will have that problem. Again, not the end of the world, but it's one of those things. If you're on stage and your batteries get loose, you got a problem. So, again, both units are kind of feel similar. The 50 is all metal, plastic, hard fiber plastic, some metal in there maybe somewhere, but mostly plastic. All metal construction all around. So those are the units themselves. Let's plug them up, and again, basically, I just kind of walk around the space that we're in here and see if there's any noticeable sound change or tone loss between the 50 and the 30. The 50 does have these nice fancy antennas, and when we power everything up, there's a few more LEDs that light up on them as well. So we'll dive on that. Cool. All right, let's take a listen. as always, my favorite thing is to say, there you have it. So there you have it. A couple of observations I did not make in the start of the video, and I want to just kind of just point them out as we conclude here. The G50 has two outputs. It has a main out and like a tuner or auxiliary out. You can go to another unit if you wanted to do that, if you have a live tuning situation that you want to kind of set up all the time. So it has two outputs, whereas the G30 only has the one. Not really a huge deal. I only use the main one anyway. And then it's going to be hard to see on the camera here, but the body packs, on the G50, the body packs do have an LED screen. All of your little programming and channel changing and stuff like that occurs kind of digitally inside of the kind of the brain of this thing, whereas the G30 has just a selectable switch right on the front there. You slide it over to your channel. Again, that's not a huge deal. See, that's pretty straightforward there. As I walked around the studio space that I'm in here, and you probably saw my biggest fan in the corner over there, I noticed zero tone loss, zero latency. I know it's sort of hard to always articulate that stuff in a video about a wireless unit, right? You see the guys who set up their system in a room and then walk down their driveway for however long. I don't think I'm playing an arena that size anytime soon, so I don't need to go check my mail and play guitar at the same time. That's just kind of silly to me. But in the space that I'm in, both of these units operate on 2.4 gigahertz. My Wi-Fi router is right upstairs. Smart devices kind of all around me, and there's no interference in any kind of way. I haven't really had much interference in a club situation. I did have the G30 just die on me one night, and that was just because I didn't change the batteries. That was my fault. But as far as sound quality and what seemed to be both reliable units, based upon what I've experienced with them and using them, I've had no problems with them whatsoever. I do want to take just a brief second and give, again, a shout out to my buddy Ben Smith, who's loaned me the G30 for this amount of time that I've had it. And then another special shout out to my good friend Lou Torres. If you guys have seen his channel, he does amazing work, and he's, I'm a newer YouTuber and all that kind of fun stuff, but he's been in the game a little while, and he doesn't hesitate to give me advice on stuff whenever I ask for it. Always a nice, approachable guy. So I appreciate it. And Lou was actually the one, I watched one of his demos on the G50, and it was a little bit older. So I hit him up and I said, hey man, the G50 video was a little while back, and technology changes and new units come out all the time. And I asked him an opinion on it before I bought one for myself, because I was looking at buying a permanent fixture from a board versus keeping my buddy's loaner. So thanks Lou for the advice. I hope this is helpful to you guys as always. Always try to find you budget-friendly, user-friendly advice on how to use some of these things and how not to break your bank trying to build your pedal boards and build your rigs. I got this unit for like $200 off of Reverb. They vary in price. I think Lou mentioned getting his for like $100, $150 at some point. So, it just depends on who's selling them and why they're selling them. I got very, very fortunate. I can't remember the seller of that unit on Reverb, but this was a very clean pedal, not a scratch on it. He sent me extra cables. Some brand new cables and packaging and stuff like that. So I got really, really lucky there. But again, hopefully this is helpful for you. Hopefully if you're in the wireless market and you're considering the Line 6 stuff, just maybe take into account what your use and what your purpose would be other than being wireless. If you're going to thrash around and bang around and do all the things, maybe the plastic G30 is maybe it's not your choice. Maybe the G50 is, because it's a bit more rugged. Or if you're not, going to be abusive to your gear like some people are, the 30 might do you just fine. So it just depends on what your needs are, what your uses are. From what I can hear in this room and using the two units together, zero tone loss, zero tone change, immediate response. Both seem to be solid units other than, the construction and housing. And that's just me just trying to be nitpicky about something. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.